Hi everyone, I have to film this super quick because I'm going to see Mary Lambert very soon and we have to leave very soon. And I know I said I would stop making so many Taylor Swift themed videos. Look what you made me do, Taylor. I'm sorry, that's gonna be my new joke for the next 3 years. Yeah, so if you are living under an enormous rock, Taylor Swift just released her first single from her new album Reputation last night at 11:30. Yes, I stayed up, and I got about 3 hours of sleep because of it, which is not good because I'm going to a concert and I'm gonna stay up late again, but it's fine. Even if you don't like any other of Taylor's music, I would really encourage you to listen to it, because it's literally so different from everything she has ever made, ever. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's like pop, but it's kind of like alternative and very electronic. Jack Antonoff worked with her on it, and I definitely think it has some flaws, but overall, I love it. I tend to love her sadder, more emotional ballad type songs. That's just me and what I like as a listener, I guess. But this song is literal fire. If I'm completely honest, if the lyrics were not so good, then I probably would not be into it. The music is okay, I can deal with it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it, and so if I didn't love the lyrics so much, I probably wouldn't listen to it, which is kind of my whole basis for listening to Taylor anyway. When I listen to an artist, kind of my top priority is lyrics. As a songwriter, I really try to make my lyrics meaningful, so I like to look for and listen to artists whose lyrics are also super meaningful and well thought out and well written. Sure, Taylor doesn't have the best voice in the industry, obviously, we all know that, but her lyrics, I think, are really, really, really good and really above average at this point in time in pop music, and that's really what drew me to her. Anyway, now into the part that you are all waiting for. I'm gonna do a little mini analysis. It's gonna be a little bit all over the place since I did not plan this, and since I've only had 3 hours of sleep, and since I need to edit this and upload this in an hour before I leave to see Mary Lambert. So when I listened to it the first time, from the little beginning piano part, my first impression was that it sounded a little bit like the beginning of Light Tunnels by Macklemore. I don't really know why. I listened back to that song this morning, and it's it sounds a little bit like it. It's not really the sound or the instruments per se. I think it's more of the atmosphere of that really big beginning. But then when that nice piano stuff just went down and it started getting dark, I just knew my heart skipped a beat. I was not prepared. My next impression after that was that it sounded a lot like Melanie Martinez and Halsey, and I love both of those artists, so I am not at all disappointed. It's like Halsey, but with better lyrics. Honestly, I think the lyrics of this song are pretty much what makes it. They're zingers and they're bomb. Obviously, there's a few that I'm kind of okay. For example, in the second verse where she goes, "Their world moves on another day, another drama, but not for me, all I think about is karma, and then the world moves on, but one thing's for sure." I feel that is it's kind of repetitive, and that could have been, that was obviously, she knew that was repetitive, so it was either a conscious choice or she was just I'm just gonna leave it in even though it's repetitive. Personally, for me, if I had written this song, which I cannot write this good of a song, I would have changed one of those. My favorite part of this entire song is the pre-chorus. Well, the pre-chorus and the bridge. I absolutely love the lyric in the pre-chorus. I think it's short, sweet, to the point, and exactly what we need in this song. I feel even though the old Taylor is dead, new Taylor still writes very much the same way, and I could tell, the lyrics sound like a Taylor Swift song, even if it's a very dark, very different Taylor Swift song. The entire pre-chorus is just, ugh. But I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. Honey, I rose up from the dead, I do it all the time. I got a list of names and yours is in red underlined. I check it once, then I check it twice. Oh, that just, so good. And then of course I love the bridge. I love the sentiment of I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me, because I feel this is really kind of a sentiment that's going to be echoed throughout the album. There are some lines that are kind of painful if you take them away from the context of the dark and revenge-seeking song. So I always think that's really great because regardless of the music, I think her lyrics always are meaningful. I also love the lyric, "I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams." Someone pointed out on Tumblr, I forget who it was, I'm sorry, earlier today, that implies that she isn't actually the bad guy. She's just cast as one, and the only reason she is starring in your bad dreams is because that's the role she was placed in, and I think that was really smart, and I hope that's what she meant by it, because I think that's super cool. And then, of course, the soon-to-be famous, "I'm sorry, but the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now." Why? Oh, 'cause she's dead. Oh my god, when I heard that lyric for the first time, my jaw dropped. Like, I needed 5 seconds to recover from that. I was so shook. Oh my god, I love it. This makes sense. This album really is a rebirth of sorts, and I'm really proud of her for doing it. Now, if you don't like this single, I completely understand. I think it's pretty, like, niche and interesting, and I can understand why people would not like it. Like, there's obviously things about it that I'm not 100% happy with, but you have to remember that the lead single of the album, while it may set the tone for the album, or at least the tone she wants the public to, like, consume the album with in mind, that does not necessarily it does not necessarily mean that the entire album is going to sound like that. For example, her album Red, the lead single was "I Knew You Were Trouble," and the rest of the album does not sound like that song. I mean, there's some songs that sound slightly similar, but really everything sounds very different. And same with 1989, although it's a lot more sonically cohesive. I hate that term, Taylor. I hope this album is less sonically cohesive than 1989. Sorry. But with Shake It Off, that was the lead single, and there are still some really good ballads and really deep lyrics on that album that are not just all fun and games and happy dancing. And so for this album, I think this is probably the one that had to be the lead single, because it sets the tone of, like, the rebirth of Taylor, the rising from the ashes. Yes, I did just throw in a Phoenix reference there for all those Kaylor shippers out there. But yeah, you have to remember, this is the song that literally says that the old Taylor is dead and that she's starting anew. I think this song is probably created with the fact that it might be the lead single in mind, and I think probably when we hear the rest of the album, we'll understand why it had to be the lead single, but I also would not assume that the rest of the album is just going to be diss tracks, because that's a little bit ridiculous. Alright, this is getting way too long. I hope you enjoyed it, and tomorrow I will have a little vlog and videos of the Mary Lambert concert I'm going to tonight. So you can look forward to that. Bye! Happy VEDA!